Hi, everyone. It's been a while. I've been struggling. Fell a couple times, really hurt myself. Just dealing with the day to day, my emotions, my mental stability. Some days I'm like free as a butterfly. And then there are days where I don't want to get out from underneath the covers. It's getting tougher. I'm on more medication. I'm trying to get used to it. I find myself telling my friends and family every time I see them, every time I call them, how much I love them. Every day I say it because I don't know when this will take me. And sometimes I hope it takes me quickly. And sometimes I hope it doesn't. Becoming more fragile to a person who has always taken charge and, I ran things. I ran my life. I took care of my kids. I had 2, 3 jobs sometimes, and now I'm relegated to a rollator that helps me walk without falling as much. And my windows with the look out into the world and TV. I don't really have anyone to talk to about what's going on. And sometimes I want to tell people, and sometimes I just wish it would go away. It's not going to go away. That's just the truth of it. I feel scared. Sometimes I wake up and I don't know where I am. And I'm in my own house. And I don't know. It takes a minute, to shake the fog away, or however you want to say it. I'm having moments where I wake up. Don't know if it's actually waking up, but because I'm awake. But it's like I'm somewhere else and my body's doing basic things. Standing in the kitchen doing dishes. And it's like, how'd I get here? Well, what's going on with that? I don't understand. And I think that scares me most because I want to understand. I want to get to the bottom of this disease, and I want to not be afraid, because I'm becoming absolutely afraid of everything. I don't want to leave the house. I don't want to be in big crowds. I used to love to go shopping. I made myself go out of the house and shop Friday. It was terrifying. And it took me forever. And I wasn't alone, because I don't go anywhere alone anymore. But I mean, I've got half my groceries, the cart's half full. There's people going this way and that way. And I can't keep my train of thought. And if somebody speaks, I'm completely lost. I become completely lost. And I just stand there looking like a beetle Just, smile. Okay. Yeah. I wouldn't wish this on anybody. I wouldn't wish this on anybody. It's terrifying. My mind has changed. My body has changed. I've lost 157 pounds. My doctor actually looked at me and said, Kim, stop losing weight. And I looked at him like, what? Never in my life has anybody ever said to me, stop losing weight. You need to go on a diet. Isn't it rough being that big? It's like, yeah, well, it is what it is. I went and had the R&Y. And it didn't actually kick in for about a year. And I was doing everything I was supposed to do. Vitamins like you can't believe, protein like you can't believe. And, I was sort of like, I drop a pound, and the doctor didn't seem bothered by it. And he said, you're going to be fine. And then all of a sudden, I don't know if it hit or whatever's going on physically in my mind and body, people don't recognize me. And it's like, I don't feel like I look that different. But then again, when I look in the mirror, I don't see slim Kimberly. I still see big Kimberly. I don't feel at peace anymore. Excuse me. I don't have an appetite. And when I do eat, nothing tastes good. Nothing hits me like it did. People would, I know, generations of people love grilled cheese and soup. Some like the tomato. My kids and I liked the mushroom, with pickle. And I can't taste anything anymore. And they're trying to figure out what that's from. Is this nothing tastes good? My favorite drink in the entire world is a Coca-Cola. It's just a disappointment of fizzy stuff in my mouth now. It's not. I don't know if that's from the dementia or, something else. I don't know. When COVID was running amok on our globe, I got the Omicron. I caught that. And I lost my sense of taste and my sense of smell. And, the doctor says it's probably just the Omicron. And I'd really like to believe him, but I'm beginning to not trust anybody. And my doctor's a good man, and I've had him for many, many, many years. And I just look at him like, I don't think so. And he's never lied to me. And we've always had a good relationship in speaking. And I doubt now. I doubt everything. Absolutely everything. I believe that this disease is an absolute curse, and I believe it was put upon upon the planet to make people suffer by the devil. I believe that he did it. And I'm not afraid of death. I think I've said that before. I'm not afraid of it. It's the torture before the peace comes that I'm not doing really good with anymore. The only time I leave my apartment is when I have to go to the doctor's office, or I have to go have a test run, or I'm going to check my mail. And Friday I went out to Walmart and did my grocery shopping, which I will never do again. I'm so glad I can order it and they will just bring it to the house because I can't handle it. Because I see so many happy people and beautiful little children and stuff. And then I'm pushing my cart and the couples are fighting over, ranch dip or something like that. And it's like, I want to stop them and say, you know what? There are big things going on the planet than the ranch dip. You get what you want and you get what you want, and then you both be happy. But I don't butt in because nobody wants to hear from some crazy old lady what's going on. Nobody wants to hear that. And then sometimes people will look at me and I wonder to myself, did I say something? Am I running off at the mouth and I'm not even aware I'm doing it? What's going on? Why are you staring at me? And then I feel like they look at me and they like, she's sick. She's got the dementia. You could tell, and that's all in my head. So yeah, I have major paranoia now too. Last week, I was convinced that someone was trying to get in through my windows of my house to get at me. And I think it's because of what happened to Nancy Guthrie. This little old lady just sitting at home safe and warm in her bed, and they come and took her. And for some reason, my family can't give you a penny. So, there you'd be wasting your time, trying to get something from people who have nothing. But it has been heavy on my heart to get back on here and talk to all of you. I want to thank you to those who have subscribed and heard nothing. So I want to thank you for that. I was surprised. I shut down the Facebook. I had a nervous breakdown and I'm seeing I can't think of what he psychiatrist, therapist. It was something. I see someone. I can't remember, but I talked to them, and they're like, "But you're okay. You're okay." And it's like, you know what? Don't take the fact that I'm having a really good day where my mind's all still knitted together and stuff, and look at me and go, "Well, you're fine, Kim. I don't understand why you're here." It's really. Every day a piece of me floats away, and more of it is gone. I've lost more of my vocabulary. I am unable to have a conversation where it's three people because can't keep up. And then people don't want to listen to me because my daughter's like, "Mom, you just drag it out, and you just talk and talk and talk." And it's like, well, I'd like to be heard. I'd like to be heard. No one's asking me, how's it going? What's the doctor got to say? It's like, if they don't think about it, it's not happening. And I'm like, listen, you don't seem to understand. One of these days you're going to knock on my door and I'm going to look at you and ask you, who the hell are you? Who are you? So I tell my kids and my grandkids, it doesn't matter what's going on. I love you. Even when I don't know who you are anymore, grandma's still in there and she still loves you. Because they're old enough now. My granddaughter calls me, she goes, Grandma, I read about that and it says, and I said, yeah, baby, we'll have a long talk about what she read and, and how she feels about it. And will that make you okay? I said, and I told her, what makes me okay? Talking to you makes me okay. You're my medicine. I tell them. I started clearing out my house because I don't want to be a burden to my kids when I'm gone. I've tagged my jewelry and stuff as to what goes to who. My insurance man was here Friday, and I got a little bit more insurance because of the cost of cremation has gone up exponentially. And my daughter won't come out of the bedroom because of what we're talking about. And she has to come out because she's paperwork she's got to sign, and she don't want to do it. And it's like, please don't make me, just come here. It's, and the insurance man talked to her, and I think she's a little better with it now. But she saw what I went through when I lost my mother, because I'm an only child. And while she's got two brothers, the age difference between her two brothers and her is 9 and 10 years. So, I mean, they were off by the time she was ready to go to kindergarten. They're off out the house, got their own jobs, doing their own thing. And so, I mean, they all love each other, but, they're not as close as they were when they were all in the house together. Now, people's lives have changed. I've got a son in North Dakota. I got one in Maryland, and they're doing well. And it's like, I texted my son and I told him, I said, listen, it's okay if you can't come back here when the end comes. It's okay. I love you. I know you love me. I mean, I'm going in and earn. Somebody needs to be with my daughter for sure, because there was nobody with me. My mom's husband was so beside himself. We couldn't help each other. We couldn't help each other. And I don't want to be that devastating on my kids. I really don't. And I keep thinking about who's going to be their safety net when I'm not here anymore. And then I realized nobody. I didn't have a safety net when my mom died. I felt like a bopper floating around in the ocean. I'd lost my anchor. And I felt that way for a very long time. Years. All I want to do now is just be happy. I want to be happy, and I want to laugh, and I want to have fun, and I want to act like a 12-year-old, which I may do at some point in my life. But it's it's becoming too much to deal with. And I get really overwhelmed. I mean, I cook for myself, I clean. I have a problem with turning the stove off now and the oven. I'm sitting in the living room going, God, it's so hot in here. Why is it so hot in here? And I walk past to go to the door and I see the light on my oven. It's electric. And I go and shut it off. And it's like, man, I sure am glad no one was here to see that, because I'm not going to a home. I've always been responsible for myself. Always. I don't like the way they smell, and I don't want to be in one. I do not. And I'm not sure what my kids are saying to each other about this amongst themselves. I've always allowed them their privacy. But this is actually a fate worse than death. To have to live with this and then die with it. And sometimes I ask God, I said, if you've got room for me now, I'm good. I'm ready. I'll go. And every day I wake up. So apparently I've got things to do before I can go home. But learning and figuring those things out is becoming very difficult. But I did get something for myself. Come here, Pop. I got a little chihuahua who gives me something to do and someone to love, a buddy. His name is Gizmo. I trained him to the potty mats because he's so tiny. And when I got him, it was so bitter cold outside. I've had him for about 2 months, 3 months, 2.5 months now. He was born in August. And he's got brothers and sisters, and he was not the runt, but he's the smallest one in the bunch. The rest of them are like little mooses. His brother lives across the hall, and they have play dates together. So he keeps me uplifted. He's so funny. He plays fetch with a bear that's about the same size as he is, and he runs with it. It's just, he's so wonderful. He's such a delight. I love him so much. Look at my baby. I'm going to come back on once a week now, because I feel like if I don't speak, more of my brain will be eaten away quicker. So if you have any questions, or if you would like for me to go live with you, let me know, because I'll do it. I'll answer everything I can answer. It will be the truth as I know it, because I might as well tell the truth, because I'm never going to remember a lie. I don't even remember the truth half the time. My daughter will say, "Do you remember when?" And I'll look at her, I have no idea what you're talking about. And her jaw just drops to the floor. Mom, I don't know what you're talking about. You're going to have to refresh my memory. And she's just like, she's getting scared. but I got him, and I believe that he's helping me a great deal. I'm a lot happier. I wake up to this little bundle of joy, and we have breakfast. And he plays fetch. I taught him to play fetch. And he does little dances and stuff for treats. He's just the best little thing in the entire world, and I love him to death. And I'm a girl who I like the big dogs. I like the big dogs. I've always had big dogs. Rottweiler, American Bulldog, German Shepherd. I've always had big dogs. And this little guy, he showed up on my doorstep. I babysat two of his brothers because when she had the puppies, my neighbor's girlfriend lives in Michigan City, and it was more than she could handle. So he went up there when they were weaned, and he brought two of them back. And then he went to go see the first game of the World Series, and he said, I'm coming back the next day. And I looked at him and said, no, you're not. You're in California, dude. No, you're not. So I had two little guys in my house, and it was so refreshing to have life. Little joyful beings, little tiny fur balls. And it was, when he came back, I didn't want to give them to him. I said, you can't take them from me. Oh, I love them. You can't take them from me. And the one had been sold, and the other one, his girlfriend was given to her sister, and this one was left. And she told my neighbor, says, take this to Kim, because I know she'll love him and take care of him. And he came to my door with this little guy, and I could not believe it. He goes, she wants you to have it for taking such good care of the puppies. And it's like, really? Really? For me? He's just the best thing in the world. And I believe no matter what's going on in your life, when you're older, I'm 66, you need a friend. You need a little companion, because I spend 95% of the time alone, and I don't feel alone no more, And he just gives me joy. I want you to know that I thank you for those of you who have left messages. I thank you for that. I didn't intend not to come back on for over a year, but I had to take care of some psychological things in my mind, and I was having some health issues, and I didn't want to come on and be like, oh, this happened, oh, that happened. I feel refreshed because this little man gives me hope. And he's just the best. He's the best medicine in the world. And I take a lot of medicine, and I can tell you, I'd rather have little Gizmo than the 12 or 13 pills it is I have to take at a time for all the stuff that's going on. Huh, buddy? Huh. I ask that you all love each other and be patient with each other and give each other time and have that closeness. Don't take for granted people know that you love them. Tell them, hug them, call them, My kids used to call when they needed money. Now everybody's making money. Nobody calls. But I think it's because sometimes the conversations are difficult because my mind will wander. I will totally forget. I'm talking on the phone and I hear my son go, Ma, and I'll come back. It's like, what, honey? He goes, you all right? I said, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. What is it? He goes, you didn't hear anything I said? No, the speaker's bad. I told a fib. But that's because he's so far away. I don't want him worrying. I don't want him to worry about it. It's just me. I came into this world with nothing, and I'll go out of this world with nothing because you can't take it with you anyway. But whoever gets the dog better take care of the dog. I want to thank all of you, and God bless you. And I will be back. Probably on a Friday night, or like now, it's nice and quiet. It's 7:30 here. A Sunday night. I wish I had the answer or the cure to this. Because this is like living with hell. But I pray, and I know God hears me. I know He hears me because things will happen. I'll think about something that I need, and somehow it will show up out of the blue. I don't know where this came from, but I brought it over here because I remember you telling me you needed one. And I'm looking like, what? So, believe in God because He's real. Well, someone's knocking on my door. So I'm going to say goodbye to all of you. Have a blessed day, a blessed week, and be kind to each other. Thank you very much for listening to me today. Bye.